European shag. The European shag is a seabird species that is commonly found along the coastlines of Europe. Here are some key characteristics and information about the European shag. Number 1. Physical appearance. European shags are medium-sized seabirds with distinctive features. They have long, slender bodies with black plumage, and during the breeding season, they develop a glossy green sheen on their feathers. They have a long, thin neck and a sharp, pointed bill. Adults have a small crest on their foreheads. Juvenile European shags have more brownish plumage. Number 2. Habitat. European shags are primarily coastal birds. They can be found nesting on rocky cliffs, offshore islands, and sea stacks. They are often seen foraging for food in the waters along the coast, including estuaries, bays, and open sea. Number 3. Feeding habits. These birds are skilled divers and primarily feed on fish, especially species like sand eels, herring, and other small fish. They dive from the water's surface to catch their prey and can go to considerable depths in search of food. Number 4. Breeding. European shags typically breed in colonies, and their breeding season varies depending on the location but usually occurs in spring and early summer. They build nests on cliffs or rocky ledges, using seaweed, grass, and other materials. They lay a small clutch of eggs, usually 2 or 3, which are incubated by both parents. The chicks are fed regurgitated food. Number 5. Conservation status. The conservation status of the European shag varies across its range. Some populations are stable, while others may face threats from habitat disturbance, pollution, and disturbance by humans. Monitoring and conservation efforts are in place to protect their breeding sites and foraging areas. Number 6. Range. European shags are found along the coastlines of Western and Northern Europe, from the Mediterranean Sea to northern Scandinavia and the British Isles. They are a familiar sight in many coastal regions and islands. Number 7. Taxonomy. The European shag is a member of the cormorant family and is closely related to other cormorant species found worldwide. The European shag, like many bird species, faces a variety of biological challenges in its natural environment. These challenges can impact their survival, reproduction, and overall population health. Here are some of the biological challenges that European shags may encounter. Number 1. Nesting site availability. European shags typically nest on rocky cliffs and offshore islands. The availability of suitable nesting sites can be limited, and competition with other seabird species for these locations can be intense. Human disturbance and habitat degradation due to coastal development can also reduce nesting site availability. Number 2. Predation. Shags and their eggs and chicks are vulnerable to predation by various animals, including other birds, mammals, and sometimes even other seabirds. Protecting nests from predation can be challenging. Number 3. Food availability. European shags primarily feed on fish, and their breeding success is closely tied to the availability of suitable fish species in their foraging areas. Overfishing and changes in fish populations due to factors like climate change can affect the availability of food for shags. Number 4. Climate change. Climate change can have various impacts on European shags. Changes in sea temperatures and currents can affect the distribution of fish populations, potentially leading to shifts in foraging patterns. Extreme weather events, such as storms, can also damage nests and reduce breeding success. Number 5. Contaminants and pollution. Pollution in coastal waters, including oil spills and marine litter, can directly harm shags through ingestion of pollutants or by contaminating their prey. These contaminants can have long-term health effects on the birds. Number 6. Disease and parasites. Like all wildlife, European shags can be susceptible to diseases and parasites, which can affect their overall health and reproductive success. Number 7. Intra-specific competition. Within breeding colonies, competition for food and nesting sites among shags can be intense. High-density breeding colonies may result in competition for resources, potentially impacting individual fitness. Number 8. Human disturbance. Human activities such as tourism, recreational boating, and fishing can disturb shags during breeding and foraging. Disturbance can cause stress, abandonment of nests, and reduce breeding success. Number 9. Environmental changes. Changes in the environment, such as shifts in sea level, coastal erosion, and habitat destruction, can impact the availability of suitable nesting sites and foraging areas. To address these biological challenges and promote the conservation of European shags, various conservation efforts are undertaken. These efforts may include habitat protection, monitoring of breeding colonies, research to understand the species ecology, and measures to mitigate the impacts of pollution and human disturbance. Conservation organizations and researchers work to ensure the long-term survival of this seabird species and maintain the health of coastal ecosystems where they play a role.